If you built a WhatsApp bot with n8n before, then you probably hit this bug. Someone sends 3 separate messages in a row, and the bot responds 3 separate times to those messages instead of understanding what they actually mean. Today, we are actually going to fix that. Let me show you how. Here's what most people build: a webhook that fires an instant AI reply immediately a message comes in. It looks fine, it looks great. But what if someone sends this? Hey, I want a refund for the blue dress. Now, with a native setup, the AI receives 3 separate triggers, 3 separate AI calls, and 3 separate replies. The bot never gets the full picture. It looks broken to the customers. What happens here is that the webhook never knows that these 3 messages are actually related. So it triggers this event independently. And that is exactly what I'm going to show you exactly how to fix. Now let's get into it. So here is our workflow. This is our debouncing workflow. So with this workflow, whenever these 3 separate messages come in, the AI is able to relate these messages to one another. And I'm going to show you step by step on how we fix this. We created this. Now, first, we have our webhook. This webhook is coming from Twilio. We have the WhatsApp is connected from Twilio. And if you want to get this, if you want to connect your WhatsApp to Twilio, currently I am using the sandbox mode. You go to Twilio. When you come to Twilio, if you want to try this out without having to connect your real phone number, all you need to do is sign up for Twilio. And when you get to Twilio, you come to messaging, you click on try out, then click on send a message. Then it's going to bring you to the sandbox mode here. I am using the sandbox mode. You can connect your real WhatsApp number to Twilio. Or if you don't want to use Twilio directly, you can actually connect your main.com, or you go to developers.facebook.com. That is where you get your WhatsApp business phone numbers that you can actually connect to please, to n8n. So to do this, you come to Twilio, you go to your sandbox settings. Now, this is where you're going to put the webhook n8n is going to give you. So to get your webhook in n8n, all you need to do is go to n8n. This is our webhook here. To find your webhook, you click on this plus sign here and look for webhook. So this is your webhook here. You can get your webhook. And what we are using is the post request because we obviously have it here. It says the post method is what you're going to use. So if you use any method other than the post method, it's not going to work. So ensure you put it in the post method. And when you put that there, you are set. So I always love to use the production URL. So make sure you use the production URL. And to get the post method, all you need to do is click on this drop down and you click on the post method. Immediately you change it here, but we have different methods here. We don't need that. We only need the post method. You click on the post method and it's going to change to post method. You copy your production URL. I love to use the production URL for this kind of setup because the test URL, you always have to click on the trigger here to execute workflow before it triggers the workflow. And I don't want that. I want to see everything in production mode. I don't want to be able to have to click here before it executes. And make sure when your webhook is in production mode, always publish. So let me publish this now because it's not going to work. If you're putting the production URL here, if you're putting the production URL here, it is not going to work if it is not published. So make sure it is published. Then when you publish, you put your URL here, click on save. So let me save this. This is not saved now. When you save this, this is going to be saved. Then we go back to our webhook. We go back to our workflow. So this is our workflow here now. We have our workflow fully here. So I'm going to delete this here. Now, here I have the response to webhook. Now, the reason I use the response to webhook is because this is connected to Twilio. The webhook is connected to Twilio, and Twilio sends back a message immediately. We send a report, a message. So let's assume someone sends hi. Twilio is going to immediately send a 200 telling us that, okay, that it has received the message. And because I don't want Twilio to respond back for me, I immediately put this webhook response, sending a message directly to Twilio telling it that, oh, I've received the message and the message is okay. So that's why I use this response to webhook node. Without this here, Twilio is going to respond back to us and I don't want it to respond back to us. So that is why I use this response to webhook node here. So now we have our edit field. We have our edit field here. Let me zoom this in. So we have our edit field node here. Now, the reason I have this edit field here is because I want to extract the details that Twilio is sending back to us. So we have our phone number here. Our phone number is here. So let's get our phone number. So the phone number is from which this is our phone number here. So you can see how Twilio is sending it. Sending it WhatsApp plus then the phone number. No, I don't want that. That is why I use this formula here. This is an expression. I use this formula here to replace this WhatsApp with an empty string so that I just get the clean phone number. And the body, this is the message body here. This is the message we sent to WhatsApp, from WhatsApp to n8n. So this is the body here, which is hi. This is it here. And we have the message ID. The message ID is to be able to identify the message because each of the message have a unique identity. And that is why we want to get this message ID. This message ID is the unique identity of the message that Twilio is sending back to us from WhatsApp. So we are using this. So this is going to serve a purpose later. So, but right now, this just know that this is the message, this is the message ID, which is serving as our unique identifier. So this is our receive at. We want to know the time we got this message from Twilio. So all these things here are going to serve a purpose. And that's why we have them here. They are not for fancy. They are going to be used to serve a purpose for us in the workflow. So now let's move over. So now we have Supabase here. Supabase is our database where we use in saving this. So we're saving all these records that we're getting from Twilio to Supabase because this is what n8n or the webhook is going to use to relate to the messages. So it's going to be using this our database to relate to it all the messages that we're going to be receiving. So that's why we have this Supabase here. So this Supabase is serving as our buffer. We're going to be inserting all the records we're getting from Twilio to Supabase. So if you don't have a Supabase account, it is easy. You just go to Supabase, then create an account. So click on Supabase, just search for Supabase, and it's going to take you straight to your Supabase. It's going to take you straight to Supabase. So I already have an account here. I already have my accounts here. So your accounts, you can sign up. So just click on sign up. You're signing up, and that is all you need to do there. So let me go to our Supabase account. So this is our Supabase account here. This is our table here. We have our table, and our table is called messages. In messages, we have our ID. This is an ID that's from Supabase. Supabase is the one creating this ID for us here. We have phone number. We have, ignore this, you can delete this. So let me just quickly delete this column. It's going to delete that column. We don't need that column. We already have our message text, and that is exactly what we are going to be using. So this message text is the one we got from Twilio. So Twilio sent to us from WhatsApp to n8n. So this is the message here. This is the body of the message. This is hi. It could be anything. And this is our message ID, the unique identifier I talked about earlier. And this is the received act. So this is the time when we receive that particular message. And this is what n8n is going to use to process the incoming messages. So the other messages coming in, it is going to check the time when the message came in. So if it is earlier or later then it matches them together. So now let's go back to our workflow. So this is our workflow here. Let me exit that. So this is our workflow here. We already have these messages in Supabase. We're going to test this again, delete this so you can see how. So previously I showed you how when the messages came in, they were processed separately, 3 separate times. But with this workflow we're creating here, we're trying to make sure that the webhook is able to relate those messages together instead of sending individual messages response for each of those messages. Now that's why we have the Supabase. We are sending all the messages. We're sending everything into Supabase. Then Supabase is going to hold that for us. Now we have this wait here. The reason for this wait here is that when those 3 messages come in, those 3 messages are 3 separate triggers. They all trigger individually. But when they come to this wait here, 3 of those messages are going to wait here. They're all going to wait here. Now, after the wait, this Supabase node here, go ahead and get all the messages in Supabase. So when that trigger happens, all those 3 messages are all inserted in Supabase. Remember, they are all separate triggers. They are all inserted into Supabase here, and they come here to wait. So this wait node here, we put 12 seconds. They all wait for 12 seconds. Then when they are done waiting, this Supabase node here goes ahead to get all those messages that we inserted in Supabase. It goes ahead to get them. So, but it must make sure that, so what it's doing here is that it's making sure that the message it's receiving is still from the same phone number. So if it is from a separate phone number, it's going to see it as a different message. It's going to see it as a different message. Likewise, the process ad. So it's going to also check if the message has been processed. That is why we also have a field or a column in Superbase here that says process is equals to false. So if it is true, then that message has already been processed, then it's going to ignore it. That's why we have another node called the if node. So we go back to our workflow, which is this here. So if it is from the same phone number and it has not been processed, then it goes ahead to the next node, which is this here. So this node here is checking, okay, is it the latest message? If it is not the latest message, then it just goes, it just cancels, it just stops here. Then there is no reply at all. But then if it is the latest message, then it goes to this part of the branch. So let's explain this node here properly. So this here is the message ID. This message ID is the one here from the Superbase node. Remember, this node here, this one here, got all the messages that are currently in Superbase that have not been processed yet. What this if node here is doing is, that is checking, okay, this ID here, is it the ID? Is it the ID of the last message of the current execution? Remember what happens? That when this triggers, those three separate messages come in, and all of them are inserted into Superbase, and they all wait here. They all wait with this wait node here. They all wait in this wait node here. And after 12 seconds, this node here gets all the messages that have not yet been processed for a particular number yet. So now, what this if node here is doing is that it checks this ID here, does it belong to the latest message? That is the last message that actually came in. If it is not the latest message, that if this ID here is not the latest message of this particular execution, of the last execution, remember, they are all individual execution. All triggers are its own specific execution. And what is happening is that they go here, the waits, they enter here, and this workflow gets them. And this workflow here, this ID here is checking against the last execution to know if that is the current one. So that's exactly what is happening here. If this ID here then matches this one here, that is the last execution. That's this current workflow, the last one, the third message. If it matches it, that is only when it continues. So let me explain again. So now, when this webhook triggers for each of those messages, they are all individual events. They are all individual triggers. And when they come through, they're all inserted into this Superbase node. They're all inserted into the Superbase node here, and they all wait for 12 seconds. They all wait for 12 seconds. And when they are done with the wait period, then they get that particular message. Each of those messages are passed through this gets latest unprocessed message. They are all passed through this. So for each of those events, they all come through this thing. And for this here, what this is doing is that it must match the phone number. So if it is not the same phone number that actually triggered this event, it's just going to go over. And it must make sure that the process is equal to false. The process is what we have in the column here, in our Superbase column here as process false. So anyone that is marked as process true, it doesn't process it. It just move over and just ignores that because that has been processed. So now we come back here again. So each of that messages they all pass through here. Now this if node here then checks the current execution. Does it match this message ID I am getting here? Remember, we have a message ID coming from the webhook. So that third message, the last message, is our current execution. The third message is our current execution. But what this is doing here is that it is checking. Remember, the first message has to go through here. The first message has to go through here, and it has to check against the current execution ID, message ID. That is what it is doing here. So if it checks, okay, the message ID coming from here, does it actually match the current execution ID? If it doesn't match, then what does it do? It just stops here and waits. It checks for the second one. Does it match the current execution ID? If it doesn't match, it just stays here and stops. Then it checks against the third one. Oh, this is my message ID. Then I can proceed because it is the latest one. Then it goes ahead. Then here, it comes to this branch here. Then all the messages that are marked as false, they just come here and just process them. Then it gets all the messages from here. It gets all the one that has been marked as post. Remember all the ones that went to the other branch that just stopped. Then it goes ahead to get all the messages, all of them. Everything here will now be laid out here. So all the messages will be brought out here. That's what this node here is doing. Then after that, we have this code node. This code node is used to combine those messages together. So these messages do not have to be just 3 or 2. They can be more. But just as long as they are in that way, they all come together in that wait period, that's wait. So when they all come together in that wait, that is when it works perfectly. It's going to work. But if it does, they don't enter that wait. If they don't enter that wait, it's going to be processed as its own message. So if you want a more wait time to ensure that the bot gets all the messages, you can add more wait. So I added 12 seconds. You can add maybe 20 seconds or more depending on what you want, but I recommend a lower seconds. So now this code node now combines all the 3 messages we have here. So currently we only have 1 message, but we are going to try this with 3 message or 4 message to see exactly how this is going to respond to us. So this is going to combine all the message we're getting from the bot message. It's going to combine everything. And when it's done combining, then it's going to send to our AI model to respond to us. Now, if you're building this for your business, it is good practice to actually add a knowledge base. Let's say you're going to create a separate RAG system for your AI. But for this is just a sample, is a simple message or a simple workflow. So I put my knowledge base in my system prompts. So my knowledge base is here. So it has all the knowledge about my business. This is just a fictional business. So it has the knowledge about it. But if it's for a big business, it doesn't have to be a big business. But if it's just a business, you don't put your knowledge base here so it doesn't get confused. You're going to create a separate RAG system and attach it to your AI agent. So for this, we're just going to use this and work with this. So let's go back. Let's continue. So now after that, we're going to send our message, our combined message to our agent, to our AI. Then our AI is going to craft the message, then respond back to us. So let's go. Now, after that, we have this code node to extract the message, just to clean the message so it doesn't send to us weirdly. So that's what this code node is going to do for us here. So let's reduce this. Now we have our SMS back. Now this is Twilio node. This is our Twilio send a message or send an SMS or WhatsApp message back. So to do that, to get this, all you need to do is just click on it. So all the nodes I have used here, to get them, all you need to do is just click on this, the plus button, and search for the node. You can search for the wait node, the super base node, the if node. This is an if node. I only renamed it. So to find the if node, you just click on this and look for the if node. So search for the if node and you'll find it here. The code node, you do the same thing. The code node, this is your code node. And we have our Twilio node, which is the final node that we use here. Twilio, you just look for Twilio. Now this is Twilio here. You click on it and you pick the send SMS stroke MSS or WhatsApp message. Now that is what I use here. Click on it, open that. So this is the from. The from here is the number Twilio gave us. That's the sandbox number that Twilio gave us. Now, if you don't know where to get that, this is how to get that. You just go to your Twilio, and this is the sandbox, and this is the message. That's the number they gave us here. This is the PRIO number from Twilio. If you want this for your business number, you can actually connect your main WhatsApp number to Twilio. You don't have to use this sandbox. We're just using it for this tutorial. If we wanted to go live with this, we're going to connect our real number to Twilio. And if you don't want to use Twilio because it's not free, to connect your real number, you have to be on the subscription plan of Twilio. And to do that, you have to subscribe. You have to upgrade. They give you a $15 trial. So that's what I'm currently using. If you want to add your real number, you make sure you upgrade, then you can connect your number to Twilio. That's all you need to do. So currently now, this is what we are using. Now, if you're testing this or you're following this tutorial, you can just copy this here. That's your from number. You go ahead and paste it here. That's your from number. And your toll number, this here, unlike this, that is a fixed variable, here is a dynamic variable because different people are going to be sending you your bot's message. So you can't put a fixed figure here. You have to make it dynamic. And to get this, all you need to do is go to the first node we use here. That's the first. You can either take it from this place here because they have already formatted this. You can just drag and drop this. But I didn't do that. I just still went ahead to format the number from here, which is not the best practice. Just take what you've already done here. take what you've already done here, drag and drop it. That's it. Then you map the reply from your code node. This reply here, you map it here. That's it. You have your message to be sent back to WhatsApp. Now, the final thing we had to do here, now the last thing I did here was that I added a final super base node. Now this node here, what I did here was that I added it to delete all the previous reply. So all the process reply, the ones that we just processed, I made sure that Superbase is going to delete them after. Now that is why I added this node. Previously, I used this node to change it to true, but then I decided against it to use this to just delete the previous messages. And that's what I did here. Now you can try this. You can either use this or you can do it exactly how I'm doing it. So now let's go ahead and test this to see exactly how this works. Let me publish this again. Let's publish this and try out the messaging and see if it's going to respond to us properly or if it's going to respond to us the way it responded initially when we tried it out with the simple workflow. So now let me send it a message. I'm going to send it the same message we sent previously when we are testing with a simple workflow. So I'm going to say, hey, I want a refund for the blue dress. And let's see if we're going to get 3 separate messages. Just going to give it a minute, let it process, then we can see what it does. So while waiting, remember initially it just came through immediately. It just sent auto reply immediately. But this is because of the wait node we added. We added wait node, so it's waiting. So we're giving it 12 seconds as wait and see what this does. So let's see. We want a refund for the blue dress. And we're going to still test this again. I'm going to use something else after this to see how it responds. But let's wait to see if we're going to get a perfect response from this one first before we test it again. So we're waiting. So it's still processing in the background. So wait. This is taking a bit of time. Let me make sure this is working. We haven't gotten a response back. Response good. So I think I get why this thing trigger. So yeah, so let's do that again. The previous message was still here in Superbase. I had to delete that because it was trying to compare the message that was here. I remember that was created a while back. So comparing, it was failing. So it was not able to match that. That's the reason I had to delete that. But let's try that again now that I've deleted this to see if this is going to work. This is going to work. So let's go ahead and do that again. So let me send the message again now that we have deleted that and see if it's going to work better now. So hey, so now let's see if we're going to receive a message back. If that does not work, then we'll have to work on this again to figure out why this is failing. So let's give it a few minutes. Why that is working, let's see the execution. Okay. We got our message back. So the reason why that failed was because of the previous message that was in Superbase. I had to delete that, but now you see we have our message back. Now you see we didn't get this message 3 times. We got it just once because the AI was able to relate those 3 messages together instead of putting them individually or seeing them as a separate trigger. It saw the 3 of them as a single message. So let's read what our bot sent back to us. Hey, sorry to hear the blue dress didn't work out. To get your refund started, I need to flag this for our team since I can't access the order details here. Can you share your order number? A human from a company will follow up with you during the store hours Saturdays. So this is what we have in the knowledge base. So you can see how that works. Instead of a single message, it combined the 3 messages and saw them as a single message. You can see how good this is. Now, your customer is not going to look at this weirdly. Now, it's not going to see weird message trying to respond to the 3 message individually. Now, if we didn't do this, if we didn't stack this together like this, now it's going to see hey as a single message. It's going to see I want a refund as a single message. And it's going to see for the blue dress as a single message, just as how we saw it initially when we tested it, how we saw both of the 3 of them as a single message. Now it is together. Let's test it again. Now let's ask something. Let's check our knowledge base and actually see something we can actually ask for it to actually do for us. Something we want a serious reply. Now that was a serious reply, but we want to ask something. Now, if we were doing this for a business, we are going to put like something called a memory. We're going to use a real AI agent so that the AI agents can have a memory. Now, if we send back a conversation, now it's going to reply like we are just speaking with it for the first time. But if we had a memory attached to the agent, then it's going to speak like it's having a conversation with us. We can actually try that out here right now. So what we are going to do now is replace this agent we have here. We're going to replace this agent now we have here with an customer, with an actual AI agent. Now that's what we're going to do now. So it's going to have a memory, so we can go ahead and have a conversation with our AI. So let me go ahead and unlink this, and I'm going to add AI agent here. So AI agent, this is our AI agent, and we're going to change this trigger to define. We're going to define it below here, and we're going to replace it here. So our chat model is going to be Entropic, because I love Entropic. Although they are kind of expensive, but I love Entropic. I'm going to use the model Sonnet 4.6. Use that, and we're going to give it the same system message. We don't have time to start getting and try to grab messages or something. No, we're not going to do that. So just take out this entire message. Let me just expand this. Just click this, just copy everything we have here up to here. Copy this, just cut it out, and we are going to put it directly to our agent. So here, so yes, we want to override that. So paste it here. So just put this here, because I put it the expression because I want to be able to read properly what we have here. So now we have that. Now we are going to take back the user message we have here and also put it in the different, we want to define it. So we're going to take that and also place it here. So we are defining this here. So, oh, no. So we made a mistake here. Here it's supposed to be for the user message, not this. This is supposed to be the system prompt, and we are putting user messages. So I'm just going to copy all of this. Or let me paste this first. Let me expand on this. I'm going to paste this here. So paste that there. Then I'm just going to copy this, copy everything we have here. Cuts. Then we're just going to look for system message. So this is our system message. This is where we want this to be, not in the prompt. So here, this is our system message. Now let's connect. Okay, we've connected this. Now let's connect a memory. So we're going to keep this aside. Connect a memory. We're going to use the simple memory in this case. We're not using Postgres. So the key here is going to be our WhatsApp message, our phone number. We're going to use our phone number for the key here, because there's a unique identifier here. So we're going to use the phone number. So just going to paste this here. So we want to have a conversation with this AI and see how that works. Now, before I do that, okay, let me publish this. Hopefully, this is going to see this. Okay, this is just, yeah. So yes. So let's test this out again and see how this works. Now we'll set this up. We want to set, so let's make sure that we don't have any conversation. So this is clean. Let me refresh this, because we don't want to have that little break we had the other time. We don't want that. So that's why I want to make sure this is clean and ready for us to go. So now let's check out our workflow again. We have this set. Let's publish. So now it's not going to remember what we asked it about refund. Note that it's not going to remember that. This here is it doesn't have any memory yet. So that one, we had a conversation with it when there was no memory. But with this one, we have a memory that we're attaching to it right now. So that's what we're going to test it now. So let's test it out now and see how that works. So let me send a message. I think we're going to send, let's send, what are your, hi, let's say, hi, what are your business hours? I need to be fast with my conversation, because you remember we have only 12 seconds. I think we have only 12 seconds and we have to make the best of it. So, hi, business. So I'm going to say, are you available? So now, I know that does not make sense now. So let's just see if the AI is smart enough to actually respond to us. That I know that does not make sense. Hi, business hours, are you available? So I'm just trying to be very fast. I know our customers are not going to be that fast. That is why it is good. Maybe you just increase the seconds, the wait node by a few seconds, or you can place it to 1 minute or lower. I think 1 minute is a stretch. So maybe you just give it to 30 seconds or something. That is probably very okay. So let's see why so let's see if this is coming true. Oh, we had an error. There is an error. So let's check why we had an error. So let me switch back. Okay. So we had an error, and this was what I was actually concerned about this. The reason is because we know we didn't map this. This is coming directly from here and we didn't map it. So let's see. So it cannot read the line. The line here is output instead of contents. So let's just drag and drop that. So this is going to be input variable. Let me Just drag and drop this and just delete the last one. So yes, this has to go. That has to go. That has to go. So yes, this. So I'm not a coder. If you need to do this, you can just carry it to AI, to ChatGPT or Cloud for it to fix it for you. So I'm just going to test this to see if that works. So now that worked. So this is clean, but let's see if it was actually going to respond well to us. So you can already see from here that it was going to give us something good. It was going to give us something good. So see it here. So this is what it was going to give us. Hi there. Welcome to Valora. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Our team is happy to help you during those hours. Is there anything I can help you with? Remember, we didn't ask it, we didn't say anything good. We didn't tell it exactly what we wanted. All we just said was that, hi, business hours, are you available? So that was what we said, and it actually if there was no error, it would have actually responded to our message quite well. So that actually worked well, but I want us to try it again. Now that we have fixed this, let's try it again to see how well this works. So yeah, let's try that now. What we're going to do is send it, I'm going to send it, I think let's send it something, let's send it what we already sent it initially. So, hey, oh, I just remembered we didn't delete the previous messages, but we didn't delete the previous message. We have to go back to delete that because there was a hookup, there was a break. So this is going to send us a message reply back, but let's go ahead and delete it. We want to really have a conversation with this AI. Now it's going to have this hey or something, but let's check it out. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's make sure we don't have any hookup on the way. That's what we're trying to do here. So let's go ahead and delete this. Remember, this would have been deleted automatically, but because of the error, it didn't delete properly. So let's just delete this by ourselves now. Just have this deleted. And so we're starting afresh. So now we have a clean slate that we are starting with. This is clean now. We don't have any issue here. So let's make sure we unpin all this data. So this is going to be unpinned too as well. So now we have a clean slate where we can prompt that again. Here we can send the message again. So this is good to go. Now let's go ahead and send our message. So I'm going to send same thing that I wanted to send before because we're going to have a conversation now. So we have a clean slate. We are going to start with a hey, want to refund. Oh, can you tell me? Let's start with hey. Can you tell me about what you have? Hey. So we just sent two messages. So okay, that is good. Wow. So are you seeing this, guys? Can you see this? So see, hey, can you tell me what you have? So he said, okay, hey, welcome to Valora. We carry women's ready-to-wear clothing, shoes, accessory for full collection head to toe. Okay, this is just it. It didn't reply 2 times. It just gave us, and you see, we took a bit of time, but it was still smart enough to actually wait and get all the message. So now let's have a proper conversation. We'll send it the hey. Now it has that memory of us already. So it has that memory. Now let's ask it something else. Let's ask it what time. So it's not going to start because it already knows that we sent it a message previously. It has that memory. Now it's not going to send the hey back again. Now it's going to just say, okay, if I ask it the question, now it's just going to respond. We are having a conversation. But I didn't prompt the AI to do that. But let's see if Cloud is smart enough to actually do that for it. So let's see. What are your opening hours? Half of video dress. So now let's see. Let's wait for the response back. So just waiting. Okay. So this is our message. Opening hours are from Monday. Can you see? It didn't start with hey. Our opening hours are from, you see, because it has the memory. It had the memory. It starts the conversation again. So if it's just smart, and this can actually be better than this. You can actually do better than this. Let's say if you're building this for a business, you have your rack, you have your knowledge base, and all your knowledge for your business are all in your knowledge base. Then you can set this up, and when someone is having a conversation with your bot, it just feels like you're the one, or someone from your team is actually the one speaking with your assistant. That is exactly what this is. This is what you can build for your business. Now, just check out this message. Opening hours are from Monday to Saturday, and we can actually check out our knowledge base to see if it actually got it right. So we have Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now let's check out our knowledge base. That's a simple knowledge base we gave it to see if it actually have that there. And it also said, okay, for blue dress, I don't have access to live inventory. And that is because we didn't give it any information about our inventory. We didn't give it any information. There's absolutely nothing there about a blue dress. We just gave it something simple. But if you are creating this for your business, that is where you have a knowledge base. You can connect your inventory to the agent, and the agent will be able to have access to that. So now let's check out if the Monday to Saturday is actually in the simple knowledge base we actually gave it. So let's check that out right now. So this is here our AI agent. Now let's check out our knowledge base. So let's go to expression. So where our okay. So where is our message? So shipping, returns. We have returns here. Okay, you can see it here. This is it here. Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And that is exactly what we have here. That's exactly what we have here. Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Can you see how smart our AI actually is? Very smart. So you can actually build this for your business, and we can also build this for you. So again, my name is Neka, co-founder Orchestrix. Together with my co-founder Fike, we built AI automations like this. We build web products for businesses too as well. So if you want something like this, or you want us to integrate a highly functional knowledge base for your business, for highly functional chatbots or AI bots for your business, that is where we come in. We can help you build this and many more. The link is in the description. Book a 15 minutes call with I and my co-founder Fike, and we can build this exactly how we have it here. So if you enjoyed watching this, please subscribe to our channel, and we drop things like videos like this daily too as well. So if you want us to build something else, please also drop a comment in the comment section of what you would like us to build next, and we are also going to build that for you, because that is what we are here to do for you too as well. So join us next time as we build more of these. We show you more of these too in this channel. So thank you for subscribing, and thank you for joining us today. Until next time, have a good day, have a good morning whenever you're watching this. Bye bye.